Being a missileer was pretty interesting back then. We were brand new. We were the first crews that did this. The silo was 80 feet deep, the missile was about 60 feet, and there was a 1.2 megaton hydrogen bomb on top of that. Our job was to monitor the 10 missiles. Once they put the missile in and put a nuclear warhead on top, we had to be there 24 hours a day, and like we were on alert.
Weather permitting, you were able to come home when the next crew relieved you. Of course, considering where missile sites are, sometimes you didn't get to come home. You might be there for 48 hours, or occasionally even longer.
We had a schedule. The deputy and I would drive out and take over the alert.
We'd go downstairs, and these guys had been there for 24 hours, and they're ready to go home. And we would go through the crew change. They would take their padlocks off the red box. That's where the launch keys were, and that's where the code packs were.
We had these locks. I mean to tell you, I practiced, so that the first time that I had opened that lock to get the red documents out, I did not mess it up.
As soon as the padlocks were clicked, we were in control of the capsule.
Out on alert, there's only 2 of us.
You had to have at least 2 persons qualified in the task to be performed and present and capable of telling if the other person was doing something out of sorts or illegal or dangerous.
Everything was handled through the 2 officers in the capsule for security, for maintenance.
The maintenance teams have to go out to the launch facilities and the capsule because something is not working right, and it's up to me, my team, to get it back up so they can actually do what they have to do when the time comes.
When maintenance teams were sent out to the missile field, they always had to have a security team with them.
We were responsible for escorting maintenance crews that had to do anything to do within the missile field.
During the time frame that I was on crew, I was particularly cognizant of the importance of the job. It was still during the Cold War.
We were standing on ground zero of World War III. We were target number 1 for any Soviet first strike.
That's part of understanding the consequences of using nuclear weapons.
This is still the only job in the Air Force, to my recollection, that you take a person that's average age about 21, 22 years old, and you send them in the field to work unsupervised on nuclear weapons.
When you're 20 years old, 21 years old, you don't think about the ramifications that you have a thermonuclear device in the ground. Some of that was stressful on your mind, and you didn't really like to think about it or talk about that aspect of it. So that's where you'd cut up and make jokes.
Anytime you do work like that, eating takes on so you ate 3 meals down there, so you would consider what you were going to eat and when you were going to eat.
November 1 had probably the best cook in the whole place. He'd bake homemade bread and buns and things like that. So everybody likes to go to November if they could.
I wanted to be a part of something that was really special and something I could get my hands on and do well at and take care of my family and serve the country.
We had people die during the Cold War. We had people that were casualties of the Cold War. They were my friends, you know. Serious business. But people don't need to remember it just because of me. Remember it because of what it meant to America. You know, we still have an America because of what we did.
I don't want America to remember the missiles. I want America to remember the people. There was a lot of men and women that, through their efforts, kept the potential enemy thinking.
If we did our job, deterrence was real, and Russians would say, "Not today, comrade." They're on alert.
That's what the nuclear forces have done, has created that environment where there's generally has been peace at the highest levels. And that's what we continue to do today.